Welcome to your favorite channel, the place where untold stories meet raw emotions. Tonight, we dive into one of the most shocking and heartbreaking chapters in the life of TLC's 90-Day Fiancé. A child is born. Her name is Matilda. At first glance, it looks like a fairy tale ending. The headlines show glowing baby photos, soft lighting, and sweet captions, making it seem like Jasmine Panetta has finally found peace. But the reality behind the scenes is far darker. When the cameras stopped rolling, the real story began. Jasmine didn't accidentally enter a new relationship or unexpectedly become a mother. She carefully built a web of lies, hidden timelines, and a paternity puzzle that the network hoped no one would notice. The story of Gino and Jasmine isn't what you've been shown. There's more beneath the surface. The 10 other women Gino was allegedly hiding, and a secret DNA timeline that changes everything. To understand how we got to Matilda's birth in March 2025, we need to look at the moment the illusion cracked. In the final episode of The Last Resort, while everyone focused on the screaming and tears, a small moment revealed the truth. When Gino reached out to touch Jasmine's arm, she flinched. It wasn't just anger, it was repulsion, a physical reaction showing she had already checked out emotionally and digitally. Fans have noticed something called the burner phone theory. Jasmine allegedly had a second, secret device during filming, used only to communicate with a person identified as N. She didn't use this phone to argue with Gino or post on social media. Instead, she expressed her dissatisfaction with Gino and rehearsed for a new relationship. The timeline the show presented doesn't match the real dates. Matilda was born in March 2025, which puts conception around June 2024. At that time, Jasmine and Gino were supposed to be working on their relationship in Michigan. Gino posted about family and local events, but Jasmine's online activity is less clear. Observant fans noticed that reflections and backgrounds in her photos didn't match Michigan. They looked like Miami or New York. By June 2024, while Gino believed he was still fighting for his fiancé, Jasmine was already planning her life with Matt Brenestrianiano. Matt wasn't a reality star, he had little online presence, but he was significant because he posed no public threat. Jasmine gradually introduced him in her workout videos, disguised as a friend helping her exercise. Subtle nonverbal cues in these videos suggest a deeper intimacy. A leaked receipt and a Miami hotel report confirm the timeline. 2 months before the public divorce announcement, witnesses reported seeing a woman matching Jasmine's description and a man resembling Matt. Their interaction was about more than dinner. It hinted at a relationship that was already in progress while Gino was in Michigan. Frame-by-frame analysis of live broadcast shows Jasmine acting as a devastated victim. She spoke about harassment and intimidation, but when the conversation shifted to Gino, her tears stopped. Her phrasing about Matt was also very deliberate. She referred to their relationship as a co-parenting friends with benefits situation. This unusual phrasing may have been a legal strategy to avoid admitting a committed relationship during the K-1 visa process with Gino. Even Matilda's name seems carefully chosen. It is gentle and conventional, creating a safe space for the baby separate from the chaos of reality TV. By naming her Matilda, Jasmine signaled that this child belongs to a different world, one without Gino. To make Matt's presence socially acceptable, Jasmine needed to frame Gino as the villain. She portrayed him negatively while accelerating their breakup. This was deliberate and calculated. Finally, Jasmine made a shocking claim that Gino had dated 10 different women. While she acted as the victim, this accusation demolished Gino's image and ensured she could continue her life with Matt without scrutiny. This is the story behind Matilda's birth and the events that the network never intended for the public to fully see. This situation seems unbelievable at first. Is Gino really the guy who sells frozen dinners, won't buy new tools, and is allegedly seeing 10 women at once? But the principle behind sugar baby profiles becomes important here. Researchers on a popular sugar daddy dating website discovered what looks like an archive profile that was active around the same months Jasmine was worried about getting pregnant. The profile had a blurry photo resembling Gino's trademark hat and pose. The username is unclear, and the location ping-ponged back to Michigan, but the message was cryptic. If the profile is real, all of Jasmine's claims would be validated. Seeking comfort from her gym friend Matt could then be seen as revenge rather than betrayal, because if Gino was paying for online companionship, she could argue that he did it first. We need to examine Gino's long-standing nice guy image. Did he force Jasmine to go to Matt? Or is he just pretending to be a victim? Psychologically, it's complex. Some sources suggest Gino may have known about Matt before anyone else did. One theory is that Gino, unable to meet Jasmine's demands, secretly approved of the friends with benefits setup as long as it stayed private. Jasmine got the attention she wanted from Matt while Gino kept his celebrity on television until the positive pregnancy test changed everything. That's where the problem began. A baby can't be hidden, and a father figure is necessary. Publicly taking on responsibility for a child that wasn't his was something Gino wasn't prepared to do. Looking at the math, Matilda was born in March 2025 and conception occurred in June 2024. At that time, Jasmine was filming for television. There's clear overlap. Insiders have also mentioned an undisclosed prenatal paternity test. With today's technology, this is possible. Jasmine may have taken the test secretly, hoping the show's timeline would protect Gino. Panic set in when results pointed to Matt. This explains the erratic social media behavior and sudden changes in tone in the weeks before the news broke. March 2025 was the date Jasmine knew everything would explode. There's also the rumor of $50,000 in hush money. According to sources, Gino allegedly offered Jasmine $50,000 to leave after learning the child might be Matt's. His goal was to avoid paying child support for 18 years. He allegedly offered a house, cash, and removal from the birth certificate. This was a business arrangement, not a romantic one. Jasmine may have taken the deal because Matt offered a different kind of stability. This explains the abrupt shift to Matt as her partner. However, the friends with benefits label created problems. A newborn doesn't care about relationship classifications. Babies wake up at 3 a.m. Need diapers, safe sleeping arrangements, and health care. Parenting a child with a sexual partner you aren't officially dating leads to chaos. The family dynamic here is potentially more complicated than anything with Gino. Gino's dysfunction was predictable, but this is new territory for Matt. Matt's silence is notable. Despite the situation, he hasn't spoken publicly, launched a YouTube channel, or posted on social media. Rumors suggest he gave an unreleased interview, expressing love for Matilda but frustration with Jasmine's intensity. He intended to be a friend, not a reality TV villain or father figure caught in a scandal. The web around him was already in place before he was even involved. The visa adds another layer of uncertainty. Jasmine came to the U.S. on a K-1 visa through Gino. She has no legal standing outside her marriage to him. Getting pregnant with Matt while her green card process with Gino isn't complete could put her in a precarious legal position. This is why the friends with benefits label matters so much. It's a way to navigate immigration rules. The audience is her paycheck, Gino her visa history, and Matt her baby. This creates a triangle of pressure and control. Jasmine's pregnancy is about more than cheating. It exposes flaws in the 90-day fiancé system. Timelines are manipulated. Relationships are transactional, and babies are the only undeniable reality. Looking at Matilda, it's hard to celebrate. The evidence shows a hidden timeline, a gym friend unexpectedly becoming a father, and Gino reduced to a supporting character in Jasmine's story. Jasmine used Gino for fame, turned to Matt for the child, and treated the audience as bystanders. Matilda, born into scandal, given a name to hide secrets, and raised in a confusing friends with benefits situation, is the innocent party in this reality TV mess. Was Gino aware all along that the baby wasn't his? Or did the birth certificate surprise him? Did the $50,000 hush money rumor happen? The pinned timetable sheet may provide answers. There's still much of the story to uncover. So far, we've seen how Jasmine manipulated the dates, involved Matt, and sidelined Gino. Next, we explore why she did it and the cost. A baby is expensive, court is expensive, and in reality TV, silence is the most valuable commodity. Money trails show a darker side than a Michigan gem. Finances also raise questions. An anonymous source shared a credit card statement linked to Gino's main account. Wedding expenses and Jasmine's visa were allegedly paid from this account. But in July and August 2024, while Jasmine lived with a friend and co-parented, expenses continued. These included food, prenatal vitamins, designer maternity clothes, and private Florida clinic visits. There's a serious claim that Gino may have unknowingly paid for the first trimester of a pregnancy that wasn't his. Meanwhile, Matt provided benefits. Jasmine kept the truth hidden to protect her reputation and financial security. If she had revealed her pregnancy with Matt in July, Gino could have cut ties. The K-1 visa support would have ended and rent and other payments might have stopped. By the time Matilda was born in March 2025, the entire setup had reached a breaking point. Jasmine had carefully manipulated timelines, relationships, and public perception, but biology has a way of exposing secrets. A baby is not a storyline that can be edited out or res hot. The due date confirmed everything. The conception date in June 2024 overlapped with the filming of her reality show, meaning Gino could not have been the father if Jasmine's secret paternity test was accurate. What makes this story so tangled is the mix of legal, financial, and emotional pressure. Gino had brought Jasmine to the U.S. on a K-1 visa, a process that comes with strict rules. A relationship outside that marriage during the green card process could jeopardize her immigration status. This explains why Jasmine continued to label her relationship with Matt as friends with benefits instead of admitting the truth. Publicly, she had to maintain a version of events that kept her legal options intact, while privately, she was navigating a very different reality. Meanwhile, Gino's role in all of this is murky. On one hand, he appears as the betrayed fiancé, a man blindsided by events he never saw coming. On the other hand, sources suggest he may have known more than he let on. Some insiders claim that Gino was aware of Matt's involvement before the public announcement, possibly even tacitly approving it as long as it remained under the radar. In this version of events, Gino's nice guy persona may have been a strategy rather than naivety. He retained his celebrity image on television while privately stepping back from the real-life consequences. The $50,000 hush money story adds another layer of intrigue. Allegedly, Gino offered this sum to Jasmine to leave quietly after learning the child might be Matt's. The goal was to avoid public embarrassment and a lengthy child support obligation. Gino reportedly offered cash, a house, and removal from the birth certificate, a commercial transaction rather than a personal negotiation. By accepting, Jasmine ensured financial stability while securing a smooth transition to life with Matt. From her perspective, it may have been the easiest choice. From the outside, it looks like calculated manipulation. Then there's the co-parenting friends with benefits scenario. On paper, this might sound manageable, but reality paints a different picture. A newborn requires constant care. Feeding, changing, sleep schedules, doctor visits, and emotional attention. A sexual partner who isn't an official parent cannot replace a committed caregiver. The stress of raising a child under these conditions is immense, and the family dynamic is unpredictable. Matt, who had started as a seemingly casual gym friend, was now thrust into the role of a father figure while navigating Jasmine's intensity and public scrutiny. The boundaries of a friends with benefits relationship simply don't translate to parenting. Matt's silence during all of this is telling. Despite the chaos, he has stayed out of the public eye, refusing to post videos, interviews, or social media updates. Rumors suggest he participated in an unreleased interview, expressing love for Matilda but frustration with Jasmine. He expected a low-pressure relationship, a casual connection that didn't involve children or fame. Instead, he found himself entangled in reality TV drama, legal complications, and public judgment. The web surrounding him had been constructed long before he was aware of it, making him a reluctant participant in a story he never asked to be part of. Financially, the situation is just as complex. An anonymous source leaked a credit card statement tied to Gino's account, showing payments for wedding expenses and Jasmine's visa. During the months when Jasmine was allegedly living with Matt and co-parenting, expenses for prenatal care, designer maternity clothing, private clinic visits, and day-to-day living continued to be covered by Gino. If accurate, this means Gino unknowingly funded the first trimester of a pregnancy that wasn't his. Meanwhile, Matt handled other aspects of the child's care, creating a convoluted financial arrangement that blurred the lines of responsibility. The implications of this are striking. In one narrative, Jasmine is the orchestrator, manipulating relationships, timelines, and money for personal and legal gain. In another, Gino becomes the unwitting financier of a pregnancy he didn't father, maintaining the appearance of support while remaining out of the direct parental role. For viewers, it's a shocking reversal. The man traditionally seen as the main character in the story is reduced to a supporting role in his own life. That Jasmine's tactics weren't limited to relationships and money. They extended to public perception. Social media activity, filtered photos, and staged videos painted a false timeline. Observant fans notice inconsistencies in backgrounds, locations, and interactions. Gym videos meant to showcase fitness routines may have subtly introduced Matt as a presence in Jasmine's life. The casual spotter in the background was actually a strategic move to test audience reaction and normalize his presence before Matilda's birth. Every detail, from reflections in mirrors to blurry photos, served a purpose in controlling the narrative. The timeline itself is crucial. By June 2024, Jasmine was allegedly already planning a life with Matt, while Gino focused on the televised relationship in Michigan. The conception of Matilda aligns with this period, making it impossible for Gino to be the father if the paternity tests were accurate. The overlap of filming, social media posts, and real-life events creates a stark contrast between what audiences were shown and what actually happened. Reality TV edited the story to fit a dramatic arc, but the underlying facts tell a different tale. Matilda's birth represents the ultimate turning point. She is the tangible outcome of Jasmine's careful planning, a child whose existence exposed the manipulated timelines and transactional relationships. Naming her Matilda was also deliberate, a safe, conventional name that distanced the child from the chaos of reality TV and the Palazzolo surname. It symbolized a new world, one where Gino no longer plays a central role. From a storytelling perspective, it's a masterstroke. The baby becomes both the evidence and the centerpiece of Jasmine's narrative strategy. The ripple effects extend beyond family dynamics. Immigration law, financial responsibility, and public perception all intersect in this story. By labeling her relationship with Matt as friends with benefits, Jasmine navigated legal risk while maintaining financial and social stability. At the same time, she ensured that Gino remained a peripheral figure, legally and narratively. The result is a triangle of influence. The audience consumes the story, Gino's visa history shapes legal boundaries, and Matt becomes the father figure for a child caught in a manufactured scandal. From a psychological perspective, this raises questions about control, manipulation, and perception. Jasmine's actions were calculated to maintain personal advantage while leveraging the structures around her. Reality TV production, social media, legal frameworks, and relationships. Gino's role, whether as victim or silent observer, highlights the ways in which appearances can be misleading. Matt's experience demonstrates how individuals can be pulled into complex narratives without full understanding or consent. Ultimately, the story of Matilda's birth is more than gossip or drama. It's a study in timing, influence, and consequence. Every decision, from burner phones to hidden paternity tests, financial arrangements, and public statements, contributed to a carefully constructed reality. It exposes vulnerabilities in the reality TV system, the transactional nature of relationships in that world, and the limitations of public perception. Matilda herself, born into a scandal, remains the innocent party. She is the product of intersecting forces beyond her control. Jasmine's planning, Gino's legal role, and Matt's sudden responsibilities. Her life is already shaped by secrets, timelines, and public curiosity. Yet she also represents a fresh start, a new chapter that is hers alone. For viewers, the lesson is complex. It challenges assumptions about who is a victim and who is in control. It questions the narratives presented by reality TV and exposes the difference between edited stories and lived experiences. It also highlights the long-term consequences of decisions made in secrecy and under pressure. As the story continues to unfold, questions remain. Did Gino truly know about Matilda's paternity all along? Or was he blindsided? Did the $50,000 hush money exchange occur as rumored? How will Matt navigate parenthood under these conditions? And most importantly, how will Matilda grow up in a world where her birth was the culmination of manipulation, secrecy, and transactional relationships? The first chapters of this saga show a carefully orchestrated story, but the coming months and years will reveal how these choices affect real lives. The manipulation of timelines, the use of public perception, the leveraging of legal frameworks, and the control of financial resources all intersect in a story that is more than television. It is a cautionary tale about the consequences of secrecy and strategy in the modern age of reality entertainment.